All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sprint Review 347 for SSW TimePro. And for this sprint, sorry, I should start from beginning. For this sprint, we have 3 sprint goals. We complete 2 of them. So the first 2, the video ones, this one is just waiting for public release assigned to Pam. And this one we need just edits only for V7. So that will only be like very little effort on our team part. Will just mostly be on the TV team. And this one, we have restarted the on billing epic, and Jeffrey has done some work on the reviewing the Word documentation, and there's a few comments left, but mainly about restructuring the document. So yeah, so this one, even though it's not finished yet, it's work in progress.
Okay, so Jeffrey, that sounds very important, that document. I have not seen it. Are you planning on walking me through it or somebody else?
Yeah, I will once I fix all the comments. So I got JK's feedback before we did all the video stuff. So once it's fixed, I will get you through it, yes.
Okay, all right. Sylvia, would you be able to CC Jack P and also in the attendees list, add the other people? So there's a bunch of attendees missing on that list there.
This one?
Yes. And
we can do that after though.
You can do it after. Just put XXX if you want to fix it later. Jack P.
Okay. All right. Yep. So last sprint is a 2-week sprint. We planned for 1 week at the beginning, but then there is sequential leave from me on Chinese New Year, and then Sam on like his personal leave, I believe. So then we decided to extend it to 2 weeks so we could get more PBIs done. And because of that, we have a wrong estimated capacity at the beginning because we didn't have all the leaves recorded for the 2nd week. So this number is a bit misleading. Our actual capacity is 32. That is me for 5 days, Sam and Jeffrey for 3 days and 4 days. And this is our timesheet recorded. For the backlog part, Jeffrey, do you want to take over?
Sure, I wasn't aware of this, but sure, let's do it. So the 2 first PBIs are the videos, which have been done. One of them is test pass, one of them has just some edits. We also have 2 UI changes in TimePro. Adam, would you like to see those?
Sure. Yep.
All right, I'm just going to take over my screen share, sorry. Cool. Can you all guys see my screen?
Yes.
Not yet. Could you try stop sharing and share again?
Yep. And let's try again.
You're making it up, but it really just doesn't work sometimes.
How about now?
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah.
Awesome. So here I'm on the client's page, and I'm just filtering to check TeamPel. This is where the UI issue was. So basically, this is the invoice table that all the accounts manager would see when they work with this client. And the issue was there was no way for them to see the remaining amount on prepaid. So we've added this column here, which reflects the data inside the invoice. I'm going to show you. So if I click on this one, this is the value that's now reflected on this table. So they can see there's still some money left in there. And for the second change, it was just a small UI fix.
Hold on, yep. What zoom level are you at there?
I'm at 100%.
See the date range?
Oh, yeah. We had a PBI for this one, and I think we fixed. Oh, no, we did not fix it, but the bug disappeared without our understanding. But okay, we'll bring it back.
Guess the invoice type and category, 2 fields earlier that could be smaller. I'm not sure if that's the fix, but
yeah. Okay, I reopened the PBI. We had it last week and we just closed it because we thought it just went off. Okay, thanks for the pick. Any question about this one, the prepaid?
The other thing is you could move date range up so it's under invoice date. Yeah, so you put it there.
Yeah, so you could put it somewhere here maybe.
Yeah, you could.
Yep.
And make the client field a little bit higher.
Right. Okay, yeah, make it bigger. Makes sense. Awesome. Sounds good. All right, and moving on to the second UI fix. This was a small one. It was about changing these green ticks. So now they reflect our green billable color. So it's more
Okay.
consistent across our products. And same if you create.
Hold on. Go back.
Yep.
We have asked for this, and you added it into the video, but the link to the documentation was meant to be in the heading up there on the first line. And I said, if you remember, I said, add it into the video and add it into the UI.
Yeah, you're right. You said it. I remember.
Okay.
Forgot. Sorry. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll take a note after this. But yeah, so this was the fix. Getting all these green ticks consistently.
Yep.
Awesome. That's everything from me. There's no question. You can take over, Sylvia. Or should I keep going?
Yeah,
Because you were showing the
just
backlog.
took over.
So...
Yeah,
Okay.
I just took over. Can everyone see my screen yet?
Yep.
All right. So for the remaining ones that we started but haven't finished, this one, the review documentation we already mentioned, and then the other two we have started. This one is just waiting for a deployment, so just one effort left. And the other one, the MCP module integration that you requested last sprint, I have already started the conversation with Calum and Michael Q. So there are two MCP server implemented, one by Calum and the other one by JK. I still need to review the code to compare because one is more complex. The other one Calum made is just made by AI. So that's a simpler version. We haven't compared like which one performs better. So I will spend like a day for next sprint to investigate that. And
right.
yeah.
Once you've had a look at both, I would call the two of them together to get them to compromise and decide which one they should go with.
Sure. Yep. So for the last one here, we started, but then the requirement changed. So Sam could talk about that one if you want to. That's the null expiry thing that last time we said we shouldn't implement a null expiry. We should use a notification instead. So then we decide to remove this and then replace with a notification PBI. Any question regarding the backlog part?
No, it looks good.
Okay, so we could continue. The timesheet usage doesn't change much. The numbers are like just little, like 1%, 3% down, up and down. Then the burn down chart, we observed it last time already, like because we deploy near the end of the sprint, so it looks kind of flat. We had two production deployment for the past sprint, one by JK 4 days ago. That's just a change in our build pipeline. So the other one we deployed yesterday for the UI changes. And then the code coverage part doesn't change since last sprint. Neither does the pipeline health. They all look good. The application health that we looked at, the massive dependency failure that we observed last sprint and the sprints before, there is a drop by 2K. Oops, sorry. There is a drop by 2K in the dependency failure, but we still don't know the cause yet because we haven't started that PBI. It's in the sprint, but doesn't have capacity to really look into it. So we just remind ourselves to keep monitor and find out the root cause. The epics, even though there's no progress because we haven't completed the PBIs on any epics, the on billing one is work in progress. So we are actually restarting the cross billing epic for this one. And we are looking into get this finished next sprint and hopefully bringing more PBIs for that. Any questions so far, Adam?
No, it's good.
Okay. So continue down the AI usage. So I checked with the team member. We didn't really change the models that we are using. And the good news that we saw yesterday, we get business license for GitHub Copilot. So that means everyone has more limits that they can spare. And then it goes to the AI stats. Do you want to take over, Sam?
Yeah, sure thing. So first of all, just the usage across the team has remained consistent in terms of what we're using. I'm primarily using Copilot, Claude Sonnet, plus some extras. We learned a little bit about how Jeffrey's using Composer earlier, which is cool. And yeah, roughly the same as previous weeks. So we can jump into the Claude stats, just have a look at how accurate that was.
Sure. I will.
Cool. So if that's coming through correctly, let me know otherwise.
Yep.
But yeah, here we have the Claude breakdown, which, as we all know, goes through the sprint review, which is only 13 minutes, and tries to break it down and give us a bit of overview. So we've got the meeting summary here and the key decisions. I was pretty impressed with, and a bunch of hard truths. So I thought it did pretty well at being able to get key points during the meeting that were 13 minutes long and kind of identify pain points and positives. If we look at the timeline here, it accurately captures when people were talking, and then it's able to actually look through and see all of these sort of key points during the meeting, which when I gave it a look over, I thought it was quite accurate at. However, probably where I thought it wasn't as clear is when it tried to make generalizations about the narrative for the sprint. It was a heavily impacted sprint, to be fair. But yeah, if it looks into, I'll skip to trends there, it makes quite a few quite negative assumptions about our overall points done and our ability to forecast, which, yeah, as it might be discussed, this sprint was heavily impacted by planned and unplanned leave / people working on client work. So it wasn't quite able to capture that narrative, but that's fair enough because it might not know that, you know, that's the way it kind of can go at SSW with client work being a part of our weeks. The interesting one to look into is people and roles. So if we look here, I thought it was able to pick up this quite accurately. So it picked up Sylvia as the Scrum Master developer, Jeffrey Fisher as the senior developer, Michael Spindley as product owner, and me as a developer. And it was able to pick up key points where we, you know, who was addressing who and about what. So for example, when just a trivial thing, when we were looking at the goals, and we skipped ahead, Jeffrey noticed that we missed the goals and said to Sylvia, oh, hey, you know, go back and let's talk about the goals, which isn't that big of a deal, but it kind of identified this as a big issue with the way we were running the chat. So it may be exaggerated some points here. And overall, I don't think this value score was very accurate. Perhaps because I think, you know, you talk about these things as a team and the strengths and weaknesses, I don't think are really generalizable maybe from a 13-minute sprint review. Usually when we've got longer ones, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I think then it gets a little bit more accurate. But
Does it? Okay.
Yeah, that's my overall feeling.
I'm sorry, Sam, I think these scores are very accurate.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, look at this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it is interesting to see how it broke those things down.
I'll get the logo right anyway.
Yeah, so I will retake. So for this Claude overview, would you give it a tick as it's mostly accurate or a cross for inaccuracy?
I would say it was a tick for mostly accurate. I thought it got key points right and maybe in the generalizations lost a bit of the narrative, but I think that's kind of fair. It was quite a complex sprint with its narrative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then we also have the Copilot stats. So for this ones, I think I will just summarize it because it's quite simple. This gets the speaking summary, so I will say it's a tick because cannot be really wrong for the time recorded. And then the main issue completed from Copilot, we have the UI enhancement, and I would say that's also accurate. A tick. All right, for the Yak Shaver usage, I think the number doesn't change much for this one, and the PBI, new PBIs goes down probably because China office had a vacation, so that could impact the total PBI created. And then the retrospective part. So for what went well, Jeffrey said two out of 3 sprint goals done, so that's good. And then Sylvia's like, end of video PBIs, finally. I don't have to present to Adam like my videos Friday morning and then start planning, preparing the email. And then we also get progress on the cross-billing PBIs. That's really good because that's one epic that's really blocking also the China tenant one. So we really wish to get that started and ongoing. Or what didn't go well? So for that one, Jeffrey mentioned we have unexpected client work and also for Jeffrey tender work that cuts into the sprint. So people kind of have to switch tasks and then we are not sure who's working on what. Well, we kind of catch up on our daily scrum, but still like we kind of lose track of some of the progress there here and there. And then we me and Sam had a long leave that reduced our capacity. And then from Jeffrey proxying for Michael. Michael thinks there are too many video versions. Tenant provisioning goes to V8, multi-currency is V7, and then iterations, I think, is also going to be V7 with edits. So Michael would like to have more actual work done on the TimePro instead of the videos, just because we are so small team and we are, just this week we are receiving emails like from Stefan and from Jimmy asking for features that they requested like months
Just to be
ago.
clear, what he said for Word is he enjoyed the V3. To him, the V3 were good already. So he didn't see the point of going so far.
Right.
That's what he said, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of can understand that. How do you feel, Sylvia? Do you think that you should have stopped at V3 or do you think you should have got it right? Or was it too much gold plating?
My feeling is that some of the features, for example, the multi-currency one, the final form could still change after we launch China tenant.
Oh,
and
yeah,
something could be different. Yeah, I feel like
definitely will change because the UI was not good enough, but the whole story was there.
Yes.
Which was why I was asking it. I wouldn't say I was 100% happy, but I guess everybody has a different point to where they think that they would show that to somebody else. And I thought, I think it's going to live there for a long time. And I know when I watch a video from another product, like I'm always looking at other tools. I'm always looking for any tool that will make us better or our clients will be better. And I know how I feel when I watch something and I go, that doesn't look like it's proper. If the UI is too ugly, then I wouldn't be very keen to show it. But if it's like one of those pages, the settings page was way too long, but it doesn't worry me. And by the way, that screenshot that I'm looking at there for that collab, to me, just looks impressive. Like that is so impressive. I would tell other teams to use this tool as well. So I guess, it's if that looked a little bit uglier and more unprofessional, I would not be thinking too much.
Are you okay with the third column, Adam?
To Jim.
The blue color doesn't annoy you?
No.
Okay, cool. I know you're reticent for blue, that's why.
Oh, no, that's fine.
Okay,
I think the whole thing looks nice with the font and with the little images of the people and just the spot color of it on one side rather than the whole thing. Yeah, it's impressive. Now, I don't think I went anything near the level of that I'm seeing there, but it has to look professional. The labels need to be lined up. Like you saw that I didn't think the invoice was right with all the labels not lined up, but I didn't say that was a fail. I just thought that'll get fixed. Yeah. But anyway, look, I guess you guys have a difference of opinion, but I think that what